Hello friends, welcome to the session on C++ programming language. In this session, we'll be discussing about file input-output operations in C++ programming language. In this session, we will see what we mean by file in C++, how the files are created, and how the data is stored in files. Also, we will see the various file stream classes and the file modes in C++. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, Learn with Prakash Kanade, and subscribe to the channel to see many videos on the subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with the question what we mean by files in C++ programming language. In real life, we need to deal with a very large amount of data, and such data is being stored by using the devices such as hard disk or pen drive. So whenever we write any C++ program for any real life problem, then there is always a need to handle a very large amount of data. Now this data can be stored on the devices such as hard disk, and whenever this data is being stored, then this data is being stored in the form of files. So we can say that a file is a collection of related data where the data can be stored on the hard disk or some optical disk or such as pen drives. Now the programs, it is necessary for us to write the programs where the program can perform the input output operation on these files. That is, it is necessary to read the data from the file if the file is already created, or sometimes we need to write the data into the file so that the file can get created. As shown in this diagram, suppose we have a disk file, then we can read the data through the input stream, and such data can be read by using a program. And similarly, suppose there is some output data from the program, then such data can be write into the files through the stream called as an output stream. So output stream is used to write the data into the file, and the input stream is used to read the data from the file. So the input output system of the C++ can make the use of the file stream as an interface, and through this interface we can perform the input and output operations on these files. The stream that supplies the data to the program is being known as the input stream, as shown in this diagram. So whenever there is a file created, then through the input stream we can read the data from the file and it can be supplied to the program. The stream that receives the data from the file is being or from the program is being called as an output stream. So whenever the program has some data output, then such data output can be connected to the output stream from where such data can be written on the files. In C++, there are different stream classes, and these stream classes are used to perform the file input output operations. So as shown in this diagram, iOS is the base class, and from this base class, the fstream base class is being derived, where f will stand for the file, so it is a file stream base class. From this base class, we have the input file stream, we have the file stream fstream, or output file stream ofstream. So there are different streams, or there are different classes in C++ IO. Say for example, we have a class called as a file buffer, and this class is used to set the file buffer to read and write, and the member functions of this class are open and closed. Fstream base, this is the base class for the fstream, file stream, input file stream, and output file stream classes. All input output functions are the members of this class, and open and close are also members of this class. There is another class called as an input file stream. It will provide the input operations for a file. The member functions such as get, getLine, read, seek, g, tail g are the functions or members of this class input file stream. output file string or OF string. This will provide the output operations for the file, and the member functions are put, write, seekp, and tailp. Fstream is a class where it is an input output stream class. So whenever we want to perform the input output operation on file, then it is necessary to make the use of this Fstream class. Now let us go for how to open and close a file. In C++, whenever we want to open a file, then it can be opened by linking a file to the stream. As I told you, there are three streams in C++: input, output, and input/output. So whenever we want to create the input stream, then we must declare the stream of the class ifstream. So the input string can be created by making the use of this class ifstream or input file stream. Whenever we want to create a output stream, then it is necessary to declare a stream of the class ofstream or output file stream. And whenever we want to create a stream for both input and output, then we must declare the stream of the class fstream, because this class fstream will allow us to perform both input and output operations. So for example, if I write a statement in C++, input file string in file, and then in the bracket I write the file name, say data1. Then this statement will open a file to read the stream of objects from the file data1. So it is necessary that such file is already created, data1, and whenever you want to read some data from this file, then we need to write such statement within our program. If I write a statement ofstream, output file stream, out file, and then the name of the file, say results. So this statement will open a file to write the stream of objects in the file results. So if this file is not already there, and if you want to create it, then for the creation of the file, you need to write such a statement within your C++ program. And whenever you open any file, then it is necessary to close the file, and the closing of the file can be done by using the syntax stream object dot close. Say for example, in file dot close will close the file of stream in file. Now let us go to write a simple C++ program in which we are going to create a file. Now initially we will include the IOStream and fstream using the namespace standard, because we are dealing with some input output operations, and also we are dealing with some file operations. Therefore, these two header files are included using the namespace standard. Then initially we will create a output file stream, out file, and the name of the file is say atom. So initially we don't have a file with us, and therefore we will create the file. Then we will ask the user to enter the atom name, and suppose this atom name is being assigned to the variable name, where 20 positions are reserved for the name. And then what we will do is that whatever is the value of name, that we will write into the file by using the statement out file name. Then we will ask the user to enter the cost, and we will assign it to the variable cost, and then it is also written in the file. So we have asked the user to enter two entities, the item name and cost, and both these entities are now stored in the file. Now once the file is created, now we will close the file by using the statement outFile.close. Now again we will open the file in the input string so that we can read the data from the file. Now what we will do is that we will read the name, and then we will read the cost, and then we will print the item name and cost, and then finally again we can close the file and we will return 0 to our main function. So whenever we execute this program, then one can easily observe that such program can be typed and executed by using the online C++ compiler. And you can find that the file item is being created, in which the first item that you have entered is suppose, for example, HDD, of which the cost is 5,000. Then the same data from the file is being printed. So one can easily observe that this file is now created, and this file will contain this data, and one can easily make an access to this data. Now we will go for the discussion of file modes. The class fstream can be used whenever we want to perform either reading or writing a stream of objects on a file. For the class fstream, we need to specify the file mode. So file modes are useful whenever you are going to make the use of the file stream or fstream. And the general format is the stream object dot open, and then in the bracket you need to mention the file name, comma, you need to write down what is the mode of the file. There are different file mode parameters. Say for example, we can have a file mode parameter iOS app, where it means that we can append to the end of the file. iOS AT, where we can go to the end of the file on opening. iOS binary, where we can open a binary file. iOS in, where we can open a file for reading only. iOS no create, the open fails if the file does not exist. iOS no replace, where the open fails if the file already exists. iOS out, whenever we want to open a file for writing only. And iOS truncate, it will delete the content of the file if it already exists. So these are the different file mode parameters that can be used in the syntax of opening a file. Say for example, we can write a statement fout.open, where the file name is data1, and we can write the mode parameters such as iOS append or iOS no create. So this statement will open a file data1 in the append mode. That is, we will go to the end of the file and then we can write the new data. But this will fail if the file does not exist. Now we know that each file has an input pointer and the file will have one output pointer. And it is possible that we can move the file pointer, and the movement of the pointer can be controlled by using the functions such as seek and tell functions. Say for example, when we write seek g, then this will move the get pointer. G will stand for get pointer, that is input to the specified location. Whenever we write a function seek p, then it will move the put pointer, where p will stand for the put pointer, that is output to a specified location. Tail g will give the current position of the get pointer, and tail p will give the current position of the put pointer. So whenever we want to write the data at particular location, or whenever we want to read the data from particular location of the file, then in such a case we can make the use of such functions. Now let us write down one simple C++ program where we can make the use of file modes. So initially we will include the input output string, fstring, and string.h, and all these files are needed because we are going to perform some input output operations and also some input output operations on files, and also by making the use of some string functions. And these files are included by using the namespace standard. This is our main function, where we have declared a string of characters. Then we are asking the user to enter a string. Then we are storing it into the variable. And then we are computing the length of the string by using this string length function. Then we are making the use of the fstring and then the file. And then we are making the use of the statement file.open, where the file text is being opened in Either it is possible that we can perform input operation, output operation, and we are also taking care that if the file is already there, then it will be deleted. Then we are making the use of the loop, say for loop, and what we are doing is that we are storing or we are putting the character to a file, and then we are going to the start position, and then what we are doing is that we are making the use of the while loop, and we are displaying the character on the screen, and finally we are closing the file and we are returning 0 to our main program. So whenever we type such program by using any online C++ compiler, then it is possible that you can run this program. And when you run this program, then you will find that the message will be displayed regarding to enter a string, where whenever you enter a string, then the string entered will be stored into the file. The file text is already created here, one can easily observe. And then the file is opened where the characters are read and again they are printed on the screen. So thank you friends for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood how to deal with files in C++ programming. Thank you all for viewing the session.